You are being watched not by cameras, not by institutions, not by authorities, but by the ordinary human eyes that surround you every single day. Every corridor you walk through, every shop you enter, every gathering you attend is not merely a social environment but an arena. It is a silent and invisible battlefield where status is constantly measured, where competence is estimated in seconds, and where weakness is detected faster than you imagine. The terrifying reality is not that others are targeting you, it is that your own behavior has been placing a bright marker on your back. You move through life believing transparency automatically earns trust. You believe that full openness signals honesty and that emotional exposure proves authenticity. Yet history consistently shows the opposite. People do not respect what is constantly exposed. They respect what is controlled. When a person shows everything, they possess nothing that others must work to understand. Mystery disappears, and with it disappears leverage. Most reputations are not destroyed by malice, they are destroyed by carelessness. Individuals reveal their fears, their plans, and their private emotional storms to anyone willing to listen, and then wonder why they are taken less seriously. Power leaks through unnecessary expression. The goal now is to seal those leaks. The moment you understand this, you realize silence is not absence. Silence is a signal. It is a deliberate communication that you cannot be easily read, and therefore cannot be easily manipulated. A person who moves carefully, speaks selectively, and reveals little becomes difficult to predict. Predictability is comfort for others, but unpredictability creates authority. The ancient philosophers and the most strategic minds across civilizations reached the same conclusion: the mind must be a fortress. A fortress does not isolate you from society, it protects your autonomy within it. A fortress with open gates is not generous. It is vulnerable. There are behaviors people practice daily, believing they are virtues, when in reality they are signals of submission. This is not about becoming cold or inhuman. It is about sovereignty. There is a difference between commanding attention and begging for it. One withholds and draws curiosity. The other performs and invites dismissal. When you remove these habits, people's reactions will change. Some will respect you more. Some will feel uneasy because they can no longer predict you. Influence increases the moment accessibility decreases. First, never reveal your next move. The modern craving for validation makes people announce intentions prematurely. Declaring goals creates the emotional satisfaction of accomplishment without the labor required to achieve it. The brain rewards the announcement as if the work has already been done. Worse, you provide competitors, skeptics, and even insecure acquaintances the opportunity to interfere, discourage, or subtly obstruct you. Concealment preserves focus. Quiet effort concentrates energy. The individual who disappears from attention and returns with undeniable results commands for more respect than the individual who narrates every step. Announcements seek approval. Achievement creates authority. Work in private and let outcomes speak in public. Second, never complain about your problems publicly. Complaining appears to seek empathy but communicates helplessness. When someone repeatedly broadcasts their frustrations, listeners subconsciously register instability. They may respond politely, yet internally they categorize the person as someone overwhelmed by circumstances. Leadership is associated with control, not constant grievance. This does not mean suppressing emotion, it means directing it wisely. Share struggles only with those capable of offering solutions or guidance. To the wider world, maintain composure. Dignity during difficulty creates admiration. People are naturally drawn to resilience because it represents stability. A calm presence in adversity suggests strength more convincingly than any declaration ever could. Third, never lose your temper in public. Anger can be a useful signal internally, but uncontrolled anger externally becomes a liability. The moment another person can provoke a reaction, they gain power over you. Emotional regulation is strategic independence. A person who shouts, lashes out, or reacts impulsively reveals predictable triggers. Those triggers can later be exploited. Controlled stillness, however, unsettles others because they cannot measure its limits. Silence forces the other person to confront themselves. Calmness is not weakness, it is restraint. And restraint signals capacity. The individual who governs their reactions demonstrates they can govern larger responsibilities. Mastery over emotion precedes mastery over circumstance. Fourth, never apologize unnecessarily. Many people apologize as a reflex, not because they have caused harm, but because they fear disapproval. Every unnecessary apology lowers perceived authority. It subtly communicates that your presence itself requires permission. Replace reflexive apologies with clarity. Gratitude instead of apology changes perception. Saying thank you acknowledges others without diminishing yourself. True apologies should be rare and meaningful, reserved only for genuine mistakes, followed by corrective action. When apologies are constant, they lose sincerity and reduce credibility. Fifth, never disclose your financial condition openly. Wealth attracts envy, poverty attracts dismissal. Both reactions alter how people treat you. Revealing too much invites either exploitation or avoidance. Financial ambiguity protects you. Present yourself as stable and composed regardless of your stage. If resources are limited, maintain order and discipline in appearance and conduct. If resources are abundant, avoid display. Quiet prosperity generates respect while avoiding resentment. The most secure individuals rarely advertise their resources because security requires discretion. Money is not merely currency, it is information. And information, once public, cannot be retrieved. Sixth, never gossip or speak poorly about others. Gossip appears to create connection but actually erodes trust. The listener may engage, yet simultaneously concludes you will speak about them the same way. Reputation depends heavily on perceived discretion. A person who holds information without spreading it becomes a reliable presence. Listening without contributing builds influence. You gather understanding while revealing nothing. Speaking badly about opponents in public diminishes you more than them because it suggests obsession. Action resolves conflict, commentary prolongs it. Silence, again, becomes strength. Seventh, never constantly explain your beliefs or personal philosophy. When individuals discover a principle that improves their life, they often feel compelled to preach it. Yet declaring standards publicly creates scrutiny and invites contradiction. People will wait for inconsistencies. Instead, embody your values quietly. Behavior persuades more effectively than argument. Consistency over time builds credibility. When others observe discipline without hearing declarations, curiosity replaces resistance. Influence grows through demonstration, not debate. A life aligned with principles becomes its own explanation. Eighth, never seek validation. The desire for approval is deeply conditioned from childhood, but maturity requires independence from constant evaluation. When self-worth depends on external reactions, decisions become compromised. You adjust opinions to please groups, soften truths to avoid disagreement, and hesitate when conviction is necessary. Independence of judgment signals confidence. The moment you stop performing for acceptance, your presence changes. People begin to measure themselves against you instead of the reverse. Internal standards replace external applause. Praise and criticism lose their power because neither defines your direction. Ninth, never expose your deepest vulnerabilities to the public environment. Vulnerability has a proper place, intimate trust. Shared indiscriminately, it becomes leverage for others. Human systems, whether workplaces, communities, or competitive environments, still operate within hierarchies. When personal insecurities are widely known, they can be used consciously or unconsciously to influence your decisions. This does not mean denying emotion, it means protecting context. Resolve internal struggles privately or with trusted counsel. Once healed, experiences may be shared as wisdom rather than displayed as wounds. Scars inspire. Open wounds invite pressure. When these behaviors stop, a strange quiet forms around you. You speak less, react less, and reveal less. Initially, others may question the change because predictability comforts them. They were accustomed to reading you easily. Now they cannot. Over time, that uncertainty becomes respect. You begin to observe more because you are no longer occupied with constant expression. Observation produces understanding. Understanding produces strategy. Strategy produces freedom from manipulation. The world is loud with demands for attention and sympathy. The individual who remains composed becomes noticeable precisely because they are not competing for notice. Stillness among noise creates gravity. People begin to measure their words more carefully around you. They sense boundaries even when none are verbally announced. Authority often appears without proclamation. It is perceived through conduct. Yet this leads to a deeper realization. Once external distractions diminish, you face your own thoughts directly. Without constant reaction, internal dialogue becomes louder. Many avoid silence because it reveals unresolved fears and uncertainties. External discipline therefore leads to internal confrontation. True sovereignty requires governing not only behavior but perception. The greatest conflict is not with other people but with impulses, doubts, and habits within the mind. A guarded public presence protects your position in the world. A disciplined inner life protects your direction within yourself. When both align, confidence no longer depends on opinion, praise, or status. You move deliberately. You speak carefully. You act decisively. Influence then emerges naturally because others trust stability more than enthusiasm and consistency more than charisma. Power is not loudness. Power is control, and control begins with what you choose not to reveal.